Hi, my name is Jackie, and I will be discussing Chapter 1, The Rise of the West. Poverty is falling in countries housing 80% of the world's population. The 50 countries where the Earth's poorest people live are basket cases and need urgent help. In the other 42, the poor are slowly being absorbed into productive and growing economies. Except for military power, power is shifting away from American dominance. That does not mean we are entering an anti-American world, but we are moving into a post-American world, one defined and directed from many places and by many people. Chapter 2, The Cup Runneth Over. With the arrival of big ships in the 15th centuries, goods became mobile. With modern banking in the 17th century, capital became mobile. In the 1900s, labor became mobile. People could not necessarily go to where their jobs were, but the jobs could go to them. The expansion of communication has made the world more deeply connected. These forces have given countries everywhere fresh opportunities to start moving up the ladder of growth and prosperity. Many of the most complex and potentially lethal dilemmas we face are the product of these successes. Global inflation has been kept low because India and China are two great global deflation machines, pumping out goods and services for a fraction of their cost in the West. The countries with natural resources, especially petroleum and natural gas, are getting free rides, surfing the wave of global growth, getting rich without having to play by economic rules. The principal political challenges to the U.S. and Western ideas of international order come from Iran, Venezuela, and Russia. They all have oil strength. The most acute problem of plenty is the impact of global growth on natural resources and the environment. Historically, populations have moved to find water. If water sources dry up in the future, tens of millions of people will be forced to start moving. Nationalism is on the rise. Many of the rest are dissecting the narratives, arguments, and assumptions of the West and countering them with a different view of the world. In fact, rising powers appear to be following a third way, entering into the Western order, but doing so on their own terms, thus reshaping the system itself. Countries can bypass the Western center entirely and forego their own ties with one another. In a post-American world, there may be no center to integrate into. New powers are more strongly asserting their interest. China, India, Brazil, and other emerging powers will not follow along with a Western-led process in which they have not participated. But within the countries of China and India, subnationalism is also growing, and that makes purposeful national actions more difficult. America will face the most intense economic competition it has ever faced. For now, the United States remains the most powerful player. But every year, the balance shifts. The United States occupies the top spot in the emerging system, but it is also the country that is most challenged by the new order.